I was shopping around for an affordable tablet under to read comic books and watch videos on. I narrowed my choices down to the budget/entry level iPad, Kindle Fire 10, and this tablet. The iPad's screen 9.7 inches isn't ideal for full page comic reading, and I was never a fan of the Fire HD operating system. So I paid a bit more for this Galaxy tablet which runs the latest version of Android. I'm very glad I purchased this tablet. The 10.1-inch size is perfect for full page reading. The text within each comic panel is crystal clear, and color accuracy is incredible. The bezels around the screen are minimal, providing an immersive reading experience. I'm not gaming, so I can't comment on performance, but running Spotify, Chrome, and my comic app simultaneously works great. My only gripe with the device thus far is that it's a bit heavy. The Galaxy Tab S5e is lighter. However, this device costs 50% less and doesn't have the reported Wi-Fi antenna defect that the S5e does. With the money I saved, I purchased a folio-style case and 12-month subscriptions to my preferred reading services. I bought this tablet last month, and yesterday, a little over 30 days later, I noticed multiple white spots on display. They look like white dust and are only visible at an angle and on a light background. I reached out to Samsung support by chat, but they were really no help. They kept asking me if I was having issues with my range, despite me clearly spelling out that I was having issues with the tablet. They also didn't even ask for details of the issue, just offered generic troubleshooting such as safe mode. I had to reiterate my issue several times because they made a note of it. They did confirm that it is a hardware issue though. Now I have to send the tablet to their repair center across the country from me and wait for who knows how long for them to try to fix it. Very disappointing for such a new device. Samsung support also told me to erase all of my personal data, so I'll be stuck without a tablet for a while. I actually need it daily, and I'll have to set it up as new when I get it back. Major inconvenience update. Samsung Repair Center kept my tablet for about a week and sent it back with zero explanation of what they'd done to it or what the issue actually had been. For about a week it seemed to work okay, but then those white dots on display returned. I started a new service request online yesterday with the details of the issue very clearly spelled out and with photos of the issue attached. This morning customer service called me and left a voicemail saying to call them back regarding my service request. I called them back in 50 minutes after missing their call and they had no clue why I was calling, but they did see the product that I was calling about in their system. I repeated the whole story in great detail, how the tablet had been repaired last month, how the issue still persisted, gave my service request number, etc. But the CS rep was just not listening. He started asking questions that clearly showed that he didn't look up my service request and didn't even bother to comprehend what I was telling him. I again repeated the whole story. He again asked if I was saying that the tablet had already been repaired once and if it was repaired by Amazon or Samsung. I again, for the third time, repeated that it had already been serviced by their Samsung service center. He said in that case the tablet will likely be replaced/exchanged and he was going to transfer me to a case management team for that. I said sure, transfer me. He placed me on hold and then disconnected the call, so I had to call back again and repeat the whole story again. This second guy finally transferred me to what he called repeat repair team. A guy on that end had no clue why I'd been transferred to him, so I had to repeat my story for the fourth time in the 30-minute period. He looked up the service history and took his time reading it. He kept just going HMMM as if he was skeptical of what he was reading. After a while he finally finished and said that since the tablet had been recently repaired but the issue was still present, they would be replacing my tablet with a new one. He asked to place me on hold to set that up. I finally exhaled with relief that the process was finally moving, but that was premature. The guy came back on the line and told me he had sent me a shipping label. I asked him if he could send me an email confirming that they'd be replacing the tablet. That was when things went downhill again. He responded that he was not authorized to do that and that they would let me know what's going on once they who. Is he not with the repair team or what? Received my tablet, so at this point I have to erase all data from my tablet again, do a factory reset, and send it to the repair center across country from me and just wait for an unknown period of time for an unknown/unpredictable resolution if there is even going to be one. TLDR, tablet had serious display issues a month after purchase. Had to erase and send it for warranty repair. Received it back a week later with zero explanation but with issue gone. The issue reappeared a few weeks later. contacted customer support again. They seemed clueless / unable to see repair history. After finally being transferred to repeat repair team, was first told they'd replace the tablet with a brand new one. Then that same person said he was unable to tell what was going to happen. Had to erase and send the tablet back to the service center.
Like someone else posted here and on the Samsung site, mine too came with a defect in the screen. After setup I noticed on white backgrounds, like when using Word, there are spots inside the LCD screen. They run vertically right down the middle with random larger ones. This is most visible when viewing the screen from an angle. I'm waiting for a replacement and will update my review. As of now the rating is neutral with the worst score possible for the screen. I own other Samsung products and have not experienced poor QC like this before update. Amazon is great at customer service and sent me another one. The second one, either real or perceived as some very slight tint right at the top right corner, perhaps due to interference from the camera. I already installed all apps and email and set up the tablet as I use it for work efficiency. So I went to Best Buy to look the floor model of this tablet, and that one was worse with this issue all down the right side of the screen unless you turn the brightness way up. When I look at PDF slides on my that have a pure white background, the issue is however less pronounced than web pages. I am not sure what the issue is, but in the interest of time I decided to just accept it. If you are picky about things it will bother you. If you are not, then don't worry about it. I don't know what to say except Samsung has poor quality control if you are downgrading from an OLED tablet. The overall screen quality is definitely not as good as my 5-year-old Tab S10.5 because it's not OLED, and I don't recall these problems on the Tab S10.5.
After using this tablet for about 2 weeks for entertainment and work, I can't seem to find much to complain about until today when I turned it on. The screen had a clustered area where the pixels/LEDs were much brighter than the rest of the screen. It did not matter what color displayed or background I used, it was extremely noticeable, unless the screen was off or if you are using a 100% black background, assuming this is due to the LEDs not turning on at all. Overall the tablet is great, but I may have just got a lemon. Amazon was contacted and forwarded to Samsung, which helped me through all the troubleshooting, and they came to the conclusion that it is a hardware issue and was told to send it in. Samsung representative quoted that it can take over 11 days for the entire transaction of returning/repairing/delivery can take. Luckily Amazon came to the rescue and I was able to exchange it. Hopefully this was just a small incident.
I admit that I've only had this a week and I'm still setting it up, but I love this thing. This feels like a heavy quality Samsung product. The touchscreen response is great 95% of the time, but it does hang every once in a great while. Brought this for work, to read Reddit, and take into the kitchen to watch cooking tutorials on YouTube. 4K YouTube videos look great. Ordered the 64GB version and have been able to run all the apps I will ever need. The screen itself is stunning in its resolution, true color display. One of the very first thing I did was get a bunch of awesome high-res wallpapers on here, and added a wallpaper app that changes the home wallpaper every 30 minutes. It's great seeing a bunch of my wallpapers that I usually don't see for months at a time. Yes, there are cheaper tablets, but I wanted something I could depend on for work, and that would last a few years. Very pleased with this tablet, and will probably buy one of these for a friend for Xmas 2019.
I can't do a full review as I've only been using the tablet for 3 to 4 days, but so far it's been awesome. Beautiful screen and really great to watch videos on from the large screen. I do find it very heavy to watch YouTube on when laying down, but that's expected. The bezels of the screen are so small. When holding the tablet my palm interferes with the screen's side, so I have to handle it a little uncomfortably when laying, or in general. I suggest buying a thicker case or a tablet case with a holder on the back for this, because that is one thing I keep experiencing with the tablet. Great product. Love Samsung.
Touch screen quality is awesome. The only thing I dislike is the fact that I don't have the option of the fingerprint sensor, which I used on my old one for certain apps. Other than that, I really like the Samsung tablet. Delivery was 2 days earlier than expected, and that made my day even better. I am a Samsung person all the way, so finding my Samsung tablet for a good price was a plus. Thank you for great customer service, I appreciate it.
For the screen quality and size, there's no better deal for an Android tablet right now in my opinion. A month in and it works perfectly still. Beautiful picture for streaming, and wonderful full sound.
Easy to use, highly recommend a case, make sure it's correct size, quick to learn, the tablet charges quickly.
Now this is what I'm used to.
Very good and quality thing, fully consistent with the description. I really like
the Samsung Tab 101, very useful and using for entertainment purpose.
I've been looking for a tablet for a while. I have a gaming PC and a Note 9. However, I wanted something big and light I could causally bring around with me. I only wanted the tablet for videos, web browsing, and light app usage. I didn't want to spend plus dollars on something that was more than what I needed. If you're like me, then look no further. This is absolutely the best value on the market right now. The screen is super bright, full HD, and a full 101 inches. The speaker is loud, the processor is fast. The only downside is 2 GB of RAM, but that really isn't much of an issue. The device has a very premium feel to it with a glass front and a metal back. Pros: low cost, bright screen, loudspeaker, fast processor, big screen, light and mobile icons. Bad camera who uses a tab to take pics. Low RAM, no fingerprint scanner.
This review is for the 64GB with 3GB of RAM model. I don't know about the 2GB of RAM version, but this one runs pretty fast. It has played all of the games I've downloaded so far with no problems or lag whatsoever. The multitasking is great too. You can have a bunch of apps open at once without it getting laggy. It's definitely not gonna be as fast as the Galaxy Tab S5e, which I think has 6GB of RAM, but for the price, it is very worth it. The speakers are pretty loud as well. The camera is kinda meh, but who uses a tablet for taking photos? And did I mention that it's fast? If you can afford it, I'd recommend getting at least the 64GB version just for the extra GB of RAM.
it. Arrived on time and in an awesome official Samsung packaging. It looks of really high and new quality. The packaging was very secure and hard to open. I opened TH box and it had that new tablet smell. The tablet itself was wrapped in a nice, soft cloth. It is a lot smooth and thin compared to my other tablet, Galaxy Tab 4101. I am very satisfied. Haven't used yet.
Well made, nice quality, vibrant colors, crop and clear, great buy for the price, very loud battery life all day when in use on medium brightness. I purchased this tablet for my special needs 7-year-old son who loves to surf the web. Lol.
When you order something from a large company like Samsung, you expect a certain level of professionalism. This wasn't it. I ordered a T510 and it arrived with a power adapter sticky taped to the outside of the box. Inside was a Spanish power adapter, Spanish instructions to get started, and the device was in Spanish. So, what I got was a badly presented tablet package, unusable instructions, and a lifetime of having to carry about an extra adapter to charge this because they shipped European/Spanish tablets to Canada. I expected better of Samsung.